That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, Ren. Hola. What's up, people? Back with another one. Thought I wasn't. Come on, I just scrolling through and I seen Ren uploaded Eden on his YouTube channel, and it's actually 9 hours. So I don't know if this was on his old album and he's just releasing them, separately or something. Anyway, I haven't heard it, so now I'm gonna hear it. And hey, if you haven't heard of me, my name's Tommy, aka Sandman. Relatively new to this, but channel's growing really well due to the Ren fans. Loving to see reactions for his music. Appreciate that. And if you want to help somebody out, go ahead and hit that subscribe, like it, and hit the bell, because I'm gonna be uploading some more of this stuff. And if you like Ren, man, I'm the man. All right. So I'm just gonna get into it. All right. Let's go.
Let me tell you a story as old as time, the story of Adam and Eve. It starts with a God who wanted more. God had just created the heavens and the earth. He had the angels by his side, but they had no will of their own, and so the autonomy to love or reject him was never theirs. All but for one, the once called bringer of light, Lucifer, morning star. Lucifer was the fairest and most intelligent of all the angels. He was the closest thing to God's image, and in his likeliness, Lucifer felt restless. He began to question and doubt God. He doubted the hierarchy opposed upon him. He felt God was arrogant. In his frustration, Lucifer built a throne that stood even above.
So this is straight out the Bible, right? All right, so if you don't know the story, well, that's what Ren's here for.
Restless. He began to question and doubt God. He doubted the hierarchy opposed upon him. He felt God was arrogant. In his frustration, Lucifer built a throne that stood even above God's and declared mutiny. A war ensued. God, being all-powerful, came out the victor and banished Lucifer from the heavens and exiled him to earth. Once again, God was alone with his power. Perhaps from loneliness, perhaps from curiosity, perhaps from a desire to share love, God began to work on his greatest project yet, a being that would mirror himself, the human, two humans specifically, Adam and Eve. They were placed inside a paradise built for them on earth, the Garden of Eden. In the garden, God placed a tree that bared fruit that would grant anyone who ate it powers bestowed only to a God to tell good from evil, left from right, to live righteously or to sin. He named this the Tree of Knowledge. God told Adam and Eve they could eat whatever they wanted in the garden, but never the fruit from the Tree of Knowledge. And if they disobeyed him, it would be punishable by death. The basic way the story of Eden is told is that Eve was tempted by Lucifer in the form of a serpent to eat a fruit from the Tree of Knowledge. Convinced, she bit the fruit, she passed it to Adam, and he did the same. Suddenly, ultimate knowledge filled their minds, and they realized they were naked and felt shame. God discovered this betrayal and felt anger. He exiled Adam and Eve and cursed them with the life of a mortal. They would work, they would bear children, and they would die. The fate of a human. Now look deeper.
In the story, the serpent tempted me by telling me I would gain ultimate knowledge and that God would spare me.
Both were true.
This wasn't some great deception, meaning that Satan, in the likeliness of God, perhaps understood his intentions. In fact,
the only lie uttered in the
Garden of Eden was
by God, who did not end up
condemning
Adam and Eve to
death.
This could be seen as an act of
mercy, but the sheer fact that the tree existed and that humans
were initially cut off from this knowledge
may imply some part of God was afraid that if humans were granted the gift of perception, they, like Lucifer, would have the power to reject him too. The fact that there stood a beautiful tree that could
grant this knowledge in the first place
implies that a small part of
God
supposedly all-knowing.
perhaps wanted and intended
the humans to bite too.
In the Bible, Satan was an exiled angel of free will. Humans are exiled
descendants of Adam and Eve.
also with free will. Not only have we shared a similar fate to the devil, we were also both constructed
We
in the
were
image of
also
our
both
Creator,
constructed in the image of our Creator.
meaning our behaviors, in some shape or form, imperfectly echo His.
We could assume that this kind of
God has his doubts,
But-
but as the most
powerful
Being in the universe
he has no one above him
to turn to with questions, and no one to
Doubt but himself, an incredibly lonely and isolating existence.
We must only assume that the common thread between God, Lucifer, and us is the desire for more, an eternal curiosity, a desire perhaps birthed from a seed of loneliness. If not, why would we exist in the first place? The constantly looping bittersweet irony is whether gifted by some omnipotent God or simply a byproduct of billions of years of evolution, here we stand in 2023 as creatures with free will, the only creatures that understand and define good from bad, creatures with the potential of a God. And what do we do with that free will, my friends? We willingly walk to the edge of a cliff. In the name of progress, we jump off the precipice. The empires we build ravage the earth. The natural order of things are necessary.
So, first half of this was straight out the Bible, Eden, right? Just how we came to be, if you believe in the Bible, as a literal text, then this is how we got here. Now we have free will. So, free will is interesting. It's very interesting when we're thinking about heaven and hell. I've actually went down a different rabbit hole in my life. Very deep, and I wrote a book about it, guys. I wrote a book. Yeah, I wrote a book. Tommy, Sandman. I wrote a book because I took a quest. I had a quest. And this quest took me about 2 years. And wow. And when I was at the end of that road, when I was done, I've never felt so free, so non-fear of death, and just an awakening, man. So I'm curious to see where he's going with this. I'm just curious to see where he's going with this, because this is something I'm an expert in, I would say. I'm not religious, guys, but I do believe in a higher power.
That understand and define good from bad, creatures with the potential of a God. And what do we do with that free will, my friends? We willingly walk to the edge of a cliff. In the name of progress, we jump off the precipice. The empires we build ravage the earth. The natural order of things are necessary to survive. Any systems which do not honor homeostasis eventually perish. Our free will overrides our own biological instinct. We can take more than we eat. We can kill more than we need. We can willingly create weapons with the potential to burn everything we've built to the ground. We willingly decide to bow at the altar of greed, the most insidious and destructive of all sins. We put our faith in corporations who pose as rulers. We willingly allow ourselves to be led by outdated power systems ran by corrupted politicians and bloated dictators who claim domain and dominion over an open and free land. We willingly elect the corrupted when the decision was always ours to build something better. We willingly create and impose separation because of beliefs that we are force-fed through our phones and television sets. We always had the will to reject these things.
Right there, force-fed. People are force-fed. You know what our biggest enemy is? And I know I'm a creator on YouTube. And I know when I create something, I'm hoping the algorithm picks it up and spreads it to as many people as it possibly can, so I can get views, so I can maybe make a little bit of money off this stuff, right? Well, that's how the algorithm is, even for the dangerous stuff, even for the conspiracies. So many conspiracies. This is a conspiracy generation, or era, I say. You know, 50% of the population are prone to conspiracies. 50%. Think about how our elections turned out. Pretty close races. One side's conspiracy driven. The other side's trying to be adults. Now listen, guys. I'm not trying to get into politics with people, because I'm not one side or the other. I'm right in the middle. And any smart, intelligent person will be right in the middle. And guess what they would rely on? Their common sense. And stop looking at that damn phone. Because once you click on one thing, no matter how bad it is, all of a sudden, they're going to throw it at you. It's going to be coming left and right. You're going to think everybody's watching this thing. You're going to think the whole world is like near the end. And you know what? That particular thing, that algorithm thing, can end it. Can actually do that. The algorithm thing it's crazy, guys. It is crazy. And if you haven't realized that yet, think about it. Do yourself a favor. Click on any subject. Click on one of these conspiracy deals. Click on it. Watch one all the way through. And see what happens the next day. And then investigate who's telling you that. Because if it sounds like a movie, if it sounds fictional, it probably is. And these people are spreading this information for that. You know what? My morals are not for sale. My morals are not for sale. Even in this reaction channel thing, I'm not going to react to a certain artist if I don't agree with what they're doing. I'm not going to give them the limelight. Okay, I know I'm small right now, but trust me, guys, I'm going to get big here. I'm not going to shine a light on them, you know. I'm not going to, at the same time, I'm not going to talk bad about them in public either, you know. So if I don't like the content and I don't have anything to say, I'm not going to cover it. Not for the money. And I think a lot of creators are covering stuff that they don't really agree with, but they act like, because they want to hear, they want that money, right? They want this reaction video to be spread like crazy. That way they can make money. No matter, I say, fuck that. My morals are not for sale. I'm militant with that. Sorry about that ramble, but I get deep.
We willingly elect the corrupted when the decision was always ours to build something better. We willingly create and impose separation because of beliefs that we are force-fed through our phones and television sets. We always had the will to reject these things, but we adhere to them as though they were the laws of physics. War, famine, pestilence, greed, these aren't things imposed upon us by an all-powerful God or by his demonic adversary. They are here because of us, not because of free will, but because of our inability to use it. We must be motivated to be better, not out of fear of punishment of an...
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Ren. Smart man, and he must have took one of his little rabbit hole journeys to get to where he's at now, as far as right here.
Beliefs that we are force-fed through our phones and television sets. We always had the will to reject these things, but we adhere to them as though they were the laws of physics. War, famine, pestilence, greed, these aren't things imposed upon us by an all-powerful God or by his demonic adversary. They are here because of us, not because of free will, but because of our inability to use it. We must be motivated to be better, not out of fear of punishment of an eternal damnation, but because the choice exists, because we love ourselves, because we have the power to absolve ourselves of so much unnecessary suffering. Take a second to be in this very moment. In this moment, how much suffering is happening all over the planet right now? How many people are dying of illnesses that could have easily been cured, but aren't because of the selfishness and greediness of humanity? How many people break their backs and reject their own passions to simply afford bills and food? How many of us crave distraction from existence? How many of us numb that pain in whatever way necessary? How many children are being abused? How many people sleep cold and hungry on the streets? How many of us become cogs inside a machine that is destroying itself? How many soldiers have been forced to fight in meaningless wars? How many humans have killed for ideals they don't believe in or understand? How many people have died for the greed of another man? And how much of this was avoidable? As written in the Bible, Satan was not condemned to hell. Satan was condemned to earth. He lives there amongst other creatures with free will, who always had the choice and still chose their own undoing. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our self-made hell. The bittersweet irony is this is a creation of our own design. I'll leave you with this. Consider what you have done here today. You have worked together as individuals collaborating to form a giant neural network, a hive mind capable of achieving incredible things. We have lent on each other's strengths to solve puzzles and decipher riddles, and we've done so to win money. Imagine applying that same spirit and determination to creating the closest thing we have to paradise here on Earth. By using the power of collaboration, we can work together to even the playing field for everybody. Our dystopias can become utopias. Our Jahannams can become Jannah. Our hells can become heaven, right here on Earth. And this sentiment applies to atheists, agnostics, and believers alike. Myself, I'm an agnostic who believes. I believe in us. We must do better because we can choose to. We must be better simply because the option exists. Thank you.
Wow. Because we are gods. We're in control. We're too busy being sheep. Man. What? It was meant for me to be scrolling through there and catch this. And normally I'd wait till the next day or maybe a couple of days and do a reaction with it. But some just brought me in here to do a reaction on this. And wow, man. I really, really feel a deep connection to this piece of art. It's not a song. Because, like I said, I've had a rabbit hole that changed my life, and this guy, and even in my book, I'm not trying to plug book, guys. I say very few has took the journey that I took to get to where I'm at. If any, and especially not in the order. This guy found his way of thinking through another avenue. But he believes the same way I do. So, we are all gods, and not like a Kanye kind of, I'm a god, in a way. Because I think Kanye has a problem expressing himself in a way. It's just the way he does it. It's just, but we have to be gods of our existence, our happiness. We got to create it. We can't depend on some higher power to do it. We got to be the ones that make it. Got to make it that way. We have control. But so many people are fed, inspired, and driven by money, and it just brings evilness out of people, you know? And that's their choice. But yeah, loved it. What else can I say? This man does it all. I can't, you know, I don't know. I'm not gonna even say any much more. I'm just gonna close it at this. That was a beautiful piece of work, and I hope you guys liked it just as much as I have. All right. So go ahead and like, subscribe, comment. You know the routine. All right. And I hope to see you on the next one tomorrow or something. Maybe I'll upload this tonight. I don't know.